Hello and welcome to my Q&A response video. Alright guys, so you've asked me some questions on my Ask Me Questions video, and now I have quite a good number of questions to answer. So, without further ado, let's begin answering them. Mojang PvP Plays asks, can you play Gary's mod? I think you might have asked me before actually, and I don't think I answered, so I'm glad that I'm answering this now. But my answer is yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much that you can have fun with, and I think that that will be beneficial because I can do a lot of videos on that as well. And I've heard it's quite fun too, which is always a bonus. So yeah, I don't see why not. Sure. Brandon Pope asks, how many horror games have you played? Oh my god. Alright, well when I was a kid I played some of the classic horror games, you know, like Resident Evil 1, Alone in the Dark, Project Zero, or for some of you it might be known as Fatal Frame. And I mean, some of those games were some of the scariest games I've ever played, and still to this day I think. Like with Resident Evil 2, 3, and maybe 4 as well. I think 5 and 6 just, I don't know, they didn't have the same kind of survival horror feeling as I thought the previous Resident Evils did. But yeah, I mean, I've played quite a lot of horror games over the years. I mean, what have I played recently? Well, I've been playing Outlast for starters. That's been pretty scary actually. I played Fear 2. I don't think I played Fear 3. I think I gave up after the second one. Yeah, and just some other games, I guess. Just can't think of them all off the top of my head. But some of the scariest games I've probably played is, I mean, Project Zero was probably one of the scariest I played. I don't know what it was about that. I think it's set in Japan mostly. And you go into some sort of mansion looking for your brother, and you've got a camera, and there's ghosts and stuff, and it's very, very immersive. It's really good. If you haven't played it, you should definitely check it out. It's been out for a while, and the thing that probably creeped me out the most was that it said on the front cover, it's based on a true story. Now, I don't know if that is true to believe, but that's still pretty scary to see that. Okay. Rohan T asks, do you play 3DS? My answer is yes, I do play a 3DS, and I've got a pretty wicked DS screen. Look at that. That's pretty amazing, right? And getting back to Brandon's question about the horror games, and I mentioned Project Zero, there's a game on the 3DS, it's called Spirit Camera. And for those who haven't played this game, it's basically just like Project Zero, only with a camera. You've got a camera obviously on the 3DS, so this makes it even more scarier because you are holding the camera. And on top of that, when I was playing it, you take the camera around the room, and there might be like a ghost in the room with you as well, and it's just in your actual room as well, so it's pretty scary. And you get like a little book inside the case here as well. I'll show you very quickly. It looks like this, and inside you've got little creepy drawings and stuff like that, and you hold the camera over it sometimes, and something happens in the book on the camera screen. It's crazy, but no, really good DS game. And obviously there are a lot of other 3DS games that I really enjoy, like for example Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, another classic game of my childhood. Star Fox 64, incredible game as well. Yeah, for those who don't have a 3DS, you're missing out. Get one, they are brilliant. Alright, Robinson Ford asks, do you like anime? Yes. I actually have some animes here. Just to give you a quick example of some of the animes that I have. There are some more on the shelf back over there, but I just chose 3 out at random. There's this, Devil May Cry. I love the video game as well, but the anime is pretty awesome too. It's based around the way Dante is, his lifestyle as a, you know, like a demon hunter and that kind of stuff, and I think it's a bit over the top with the amount of pizzas and strawberry sundaes he has, because we all know that he loves those obviously, but he eats a lot of those in this anime. Another anime is Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied is really good. It's very gory though, and is there an age rating on this? I don't know, probably. But it's very gory. There's like arms being ripped off and heads being ripped off and stuff. It's quite like nudity based as well, as you can see. But it's pretty good. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a good series. Another really good series is Wolf's Reign. Really cool series. I'm a big fan of wolves, and this is about wolves. I remember looking on Amazon actually for this series, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was so peeved off about it because I did see it on there at one point. I think it was going for like £25–30, which at the time was still very good because it is the entire series. And then I looked on Amazon like about a week or two later, and it was gone. The whole thing was gone, and it didn't say that they were ordering any more in stock or anything like that. But I went down to my exchange shop, and I actually found this in there for £12.99. That's probably back to front, but £12.99. That is amazing for like a whole series of anime. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, check exchange shops for stuff like that and games and that. They are gold mines sometimes. I've come across so many games and animes and stuff in there that are going pretty cheap as well. Okay, next question. Steve Crafter, I'm guessing you probably like Minecraft. What colour are your eyes? I think somebody complimented me on my eyes before actually, but I'll give you guys a bit of a close-up if I can. They're sort of green. Yeah, my main colour is green, but they've got like little strands of blue and a tiny bit of brown in there as well. But I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. Yeah, they're kind of green mostly. Oh, we're going out of focus. That's probably the closest I can get, I reckon. Probably about that. So it looks like looks mostly green, I think. So there's my answer, green. The Daily Life of Vincent the Lucario, longest YouTube name ever, asks, what made you play horror games in the first place? Okay, well, getting back to Brandon's question again, I know I keep going back to this, but it's very easy to refer back to. I was just around horror games, I suppose. I remember my mum and my dad and stuff like that, they were playing Resident Evil and that, and it used to be so scary for me to even watch them play it, so you can imagine what I was like when I was playing it. It was terrifying, but I guess seeing them play it probably maybe gave me the courage to play it myself. So yeah, I guess that's probably what drove me to play horror games in the first place. So yeah, Richard and Shade the Ripper asks, Danny, are you a furry? Now this is a question that gets thrown at me a lot, and I don't know if it's because of my YouTube picture. It's like a wolf with the headset and that. It's just a drawing of me, and I really like it. You know, I've had like fan art and stuff sent to me, and you guys can do that as well if you like. But yeah, it's just because I like the picture and I wanted it as my YouTube picture. And obviously my backdrop, if none of you have seen my backdrop, it is a My Little Pony, so I'm guessing that probably spurred up some suspicion as well. But again, that's just a drawing of me and it fits well with my whole backdrop, so I just use it. But to answer your question, because you are waiting for an answer, I'm just dodging the bullet here, aren't I? Probably not. I mean, if you're a furry for liking stuff like Star Fox Adventures and wolves and stuff like that, I guess, then yeah, maybe I am. And also, Crystal was quite hot, so I don't know. You do the math. Maybe is my answer. Alina Clover asks, Danny, why are you so awesome? I don't know. One of life's mysteries, in the same way as why is Miley Cyrus's tongue so long? You know, it's just is the way, I suppose. Alina is one of my friends from well, quite a long time ago. I used to live a few doors away from her, and she used to come around my house, and we used to get the GameCube out, and we would play Sonic Adventure Battle and all kinds of games like that. And that brings me on to the topic of GameCube actually. Why is the GameCube so underrated? Not that many people seem to to give it the appreciation that I think that it deserves. I've got so many GameCube games. You know, I've played stuff like Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Beyblade V-Force. Getting back to the anime within this question, that's another kind of anime-related program that I used to watch a lot as a kid, Beyblade. And I'm not talking about the Beyblade Evolution or whatever the newest series is or whatever, I'm talking about the original Beyblade series. They are badass. And I watched Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, all the original good stuff. I've forgotten the point of this. The GameCube, yeah. There's so many good games on there. You've got Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. Another really, really awesome video game character from my childhood is Spyro. Because I used to play that so much. All the PS1s and everything. But there's like Resident Evil, Star Fox, again Sonic, Zelda of course, Zelda Wind Waker. Oh god, there's so many amazing titles on the GameCube. I just love that console so much. Alright, so next question is from Mark Westgarth. This is actually a buddy of mine from school. Hey mate, have you tried a live feed while you play? People can watch firsthand and ask questions while you play the games. A lot of YouTubers do it. Again, this is another good question, just like the rest of them. I have thought about it, and I am probably going to be doing that soon. I'm also waiting for like more subscribers to come my way, because obviously the more there is, the more questions they can ask while I play, and that it's just it's good. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But yeah, I think that that's a really, really good idea. I have thought about it. And I don't see why I won't do that in the future. Okay. Billy Rain asks, hardest video game boss. Okay, right. Well, I'm sure like a lot of you gamers, you've come on these quests in your gaming experiences, just like I have. I've defeated Mundus from Devil May Cry, Ganondorf from the Zelda series, Andros from Star Fox, Wesker from Resident Evil, Simmons from Resident Evil, and I don't know about you, but Simmons was over the top. He was totally over the top as a video game boss. Who agrees with me on that? I mean, he gets injected by Ada Wong, and he turns into a dinosaur, a T-Rex. And after you've beaten him in the T-Rex form, and you think, oh, that was pretty cool battle actually, that's over and done with now, he's been beaten. No, he comes back at the end of the game again, as a fucking, like a grasshopper or something, or a big insect. And at that point, I'm just sitting back, just like, what? And I don't, you know, you defeat him like 10 times before that. So, I mean, it's crazy. So he's one of the, I wouldn't say the hardest, but when I first played Resident Evil 6 on Leon's campaign, that was pretty difficult actually. I couldn't figure out how to impale his face with the big spike that gets shot by the electric bolt and kills him. I couldn't figure that out. So I died a few times. I'm trying to think of what other bosses I've beaten actually. Neo Cortex from Crash Bandicoot, Nasty Nork from Spyro. I'm trying to think of them all off the top of my head. No, I can't do it because there is quite a lot, and I'm sure you guys have probably beaten similar, or if not all of the bosses on that I've just explained. But one of the hardest, and probably still to this very day, and you're not going to believe this, but one of the hardest video game bosses that I have ever faced is a PS1 boss, bearing in mind, and I actually have it here as an example, is the Phantom Virus from Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. The Phantom Virus. What the fuck? You know, it's crazy because I don't know how many of you have played that game, but that boss cannot be beaten. I'm pretty sure of it. You get 3 lives, and I think he has 3 lives, and you can barely hit him. The rest of the game is fine. I complete that, but the last level of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase is the Phantom Virus, and I can't beat him. I still haven't beaten him. And I've beaten Wesker, Simmons, and all the, you know, the other video game characters, etc., and more. But the Phantom Virus is a pain in the ass. I mean, if I probably sat there for days on end, I don't know, maybe I could do it. And actually, I've seen another game that I put up here to explain in this video, but getting back to the DS question again, obviously the 3DS can play the original DS games, but if you haven't seen this or played this or whatever, get this, Resident Evil Deadly Silence. This is pretty much the first Resident Evil game on the DS, and it is amazing. It's exactly the same, but it's on a DS. And actually, sparking up another question about the 3DS, why don't they bring out Zelda and the Wind Waker on the 3DS? Now, I know some of you probably thinking, oh, I don't like the Wind Waker, but I do, and there's a lot of people that do, and maybe you do, I don't know. But I thought the Wind Waker was an amazing game. But it's only on the Wii U and the GameCube, obviously. And that's the thing, I heard that they were bringing out Majora's Mask on the 3DS, and I have, what do I have? Phantom Hourglass on the DS, Spirit Tracks on the DS, Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, A Link to the Past on 3DS. So how cool would it be to have, like, you know, Majora's Mask and the Wind Waker, you know, all on the 3DS system? I can go wherever I want, and I have all these Zelda games to play. That's what I think, anyways. Batgirl Knight asks, what helped you decide to start DannyMediaTV? Wow, I don't know, I like video games, you know, and there's a lot of awesome video game channels on YouTube as well. I just, I guess I wanted to start making my own and have my own video gaming channel. Well, you got some more questions for me as well. What is your favourite game you played on YouTube? That's a tough one, because I've played so many really good games on YouTube now. Well, you know, because you've been here since the beginning. You watched me through my entire Black Mesa playthrough, so thanks so much for that personally. And that was probably one of my most favourite. Black Mesa is a classic. It's, you know, it's a remake, obviously, of the Half-Life, obviously. To scale, it is perfect. So yeah, if I had to choose one, maybe that, but I really can't decide. There's so many favourite games that I played on YouTube. Do you plan on doing another travel video like last summer this year? I'm kind of glad you asked, actually, because I am actually travelling away in 2 days' time to Germany. So I'm actually planning on doing a travel video to Germany. So yeah, I guess I am. Have you always lived in England? Yeah, I was born in London, and yeah, I just have. I've always lived in England. And do you plan on playing any more Mario games or Zelda games? I would love to, but it's the thing with Nintendo, they don't kind of like it. A lot of other gaming companies, in that they kind of appreciate the fact that you want to play their games and give it free promotion for them, because that's what YouTubers are doing. I mean, yes, they're making some YouTube revenue because of all their hard time that they spent putting into those videos, and I know, because I spend quite a lot of time editing sometimes as well, but it's free promotion for them. But I don't think Nintendo like it. So more often than enough, people who upload Zelda videos, they tend to find that it gets you know, taken down or removed from copyright reasons, or it just becomes muted because of the Zelda soundtrack that's playing in the background. So I don't know, it's a risky one. I probably wouldn't, to be honest with you. But yeah, thanks so much for your questions and your support over the period of time that you've been here. It's been amazing. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the videos. But those are all the questions that I have here right now. If I didn't answer your question, I'm pretty sure I did, but if I didn't, I'm sorry, and there will be another chance for me to do one of these Q&A videos, because as I said in my Ask Me Questions video, I'm going to be doing one of these probably, I don't know, once a month or once every 2 months or something, but there will be another opportunity to ask me questions, and you always can in the comments section anyway. I can just reply via text. The way I said text just then, text. But yeah, don't feel like you missed out, there's always a chance. And this has been really, really fun. I've loved answering your questions, and I'll always be willing to answer as many as I can. Also, got some pretty awesome news. I think we've just hit 100,000 views. That is incredible. It wasn't that long ago when I made a video about 50,000 views. I think it was actually in my Ask Me Questions video. I might be wrong about that, but I think it was. And that was about a month ago. So if that's a month ago, that's like 50,000 views in 30 days. That is amazing. That is really good. Thanks a lot. I know that we're still at obviously 5,000 subscribers. I think the next benchmark for that is 10,000. We can do this. But another conclusion to this video, apart from saying a massive thank you for your questions and your views and your support, is always so amazing to me, and we're growing as a community and as a group and as like a family. But the conclusion to this video as well is going to be that I'm not going to be here for a week. I'm actually travelling to Germany. So I won't be here, but I'm probably going to do a video in Germany to show you guys what my time was like. I think there's a manga con going on down there as well. So I'll probably be doing a video of that and stuff. I'm seeing my girlfriend down there, so I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I won't be here for a week unfortunately, but when I come back there'll be more videos uploaded. And I've got a couple of ideas for some little horror games. You know, like when I used to play stuff like Slender videos and stuff like that. Well, I'm going to probably start doing more of those as well, because I think people enjoy those. So fear not, there will be some more videos coming up soon. Thanks so much for your support as always, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.